What up, YouTube? It's your host, Real Vision TV. We back. We are definitely back. This is your first time checking out the channel, watching one of our videos. Please definitely stay towards the end. Share the video and subscribe. Definitely give that thumbs up. Well, we almost around that time, right? You know, that time. Remember 2020? It's almost approaching that time again, where the DNC finds some celebrities that they program you to like, convince you why it's necessary to vote for that party. Now, this is a direct message to Black households, especially if you're a Black male and you're supposed to be leading your village. If you allow yourself to be coerced, conned, or bamboozled, again, with giving your vote to people who don't care anything about you, then you're just flat out not a leader. You got to look yourself in the mirror and you got to ask yourself, because a leader typically leads by example. An example is set when they make a mistake the first time and they're willing to correct that mistake. Therefore, as a leader, their goal is to pass that message on and make sure that the next person doesn't make that same mistake. That's what makes them a leader, right? And if you don't have that capacity, and you and your household with a family, even if you're single, then you're just letting yourself down. And you're letting the people around you down, because you basically guided them down a direction that we all been through and have been at for quite some time, right? And the message on this video is mainly targeted towards that kind of individual. We can't afford ourselves to be voting another 4 years to be on the plantation, because that's what you guys are voting for. You're voting to be on the plantation still. Some of you guys just still haven't gotten it yet, but you've been on the plantation, and we can't afford another 4 years on the plantation. Now in 2020, we all know the routine. 2016, they got LeBron James. They got a few other people when he was running and pushing Hillary Clinton against Donald Trump, that 2012 election. Now, fast forward, they're still using the same strategy. It went to Barack, and now it went to Biden, where they find Black celebrities to publicize their voice and show support for, let's say, a Joe Biden and the Democrat candidates. They use their platform to encourage their fans and followers, and this is why, and let me stress that, fans and followers, right? Because these people have a huge base, and that base is being taken advantage of to vote and engage in political processes. Now, it baffles me that some people idolize these fans so much that they rather listen to some person they idolize versus somebody that's right in their household going through the grind every day with them. That baffles me. I never understood how at some point you just don't catch yourself in the matrix. But let's go through a few celebrities that we know are good for taking that check to deliver the wrong message. Number one, Beyonce. Now, Beyonce's a singer. Sometimes she's an actress. I don't think politics is her lane. And she runs with Jay-Z, and I don't think his lane is politics either. I don't care how many people he helps get out of jail. Politics is not his lane. Jay-Z, if you want to do something constructive, go put your money up on some acres of land and build some affordable homes for Black people in inner cities that can't afford to stay in these high-priced rental apartment complexes, right? That's what you can do to help us. Just stay out of the politics, right? Because at that time, Beyonce used her social media presence to encourage her fans to vote, participate in the election, highlighting the importance of having their voice heard. And that's a popular thing. They always like to use the word, do you like to have your voice heard, right? My thing is this, I love to hear my voice, but as long as I'm the one delivering the message. I don't want somebody else's message being delivered, but my voice is being used. That means it's not effective. And these people, you just can't trust them. Moving along, number two, LeBron James. Mentioned him earlier, but he's always a good candidate to take the bag to lead people astray. And of course, he's an athlete. So you know this Beyonce, Jay-Z, this is our entertainment chain as Black folks in this country, in this world. entertainment chain. Beyonce's entertainment, LeBron James entertainment when it comes to sports. He's a prominent athlete. And he's been vocal about his support for Joe Biden and the DNC. He utilizes his platform to emphasize the significance of voting. Like, people just still don't know what voting is and how important it is. If you don't understand how important it is to vote at this time and whether you participate in that election or not, you still need to understand the importance of your vote, because if you did, you know to hold it if the candidates is not somebody that you would rock with. And when I mean rock with, not what because your celebrity person that you idolize rock with, it's because their beliefs and their systems of beliefs and policies doesn't align with your daily lives. That's what you should be voting for. Policies that align with your daily lives. And with LeBron, his direct target is young people. If you're in the 30s and obviously you got children, that's that age bracket of a house. That's that type of household right there that basically gets the message from a LeBron James. You got the kid that plays sports at home. He's a fan. The dad's a fan, and the mom's a fan too. That's an easy demographic to target, and of course to use LeBron James for it. Number 3, Kerry Washington. She's another actress, same like Beyonce, but then all of a sudden she turned activist. Now let's comment on the activist thing real quick before I jump into Kerry Washington, because if you guys notice, and if you guys are paying attention, you realize that at the snap of a finger, BLM just disappeared. Like poof, thin air, right? All of a sudden, these activist groups that was running around to help us get a statue of a George Floyd, for example, they just disappeared. These are ambulance chasers. They chase ambulance and they take advantage of the pain of Black families. And they use these type of individuals. So let's go on with Kerry Washington, because she's been involved advocating for Joe Biden's campaign as well. She appeared in virtual events during that COVID period when everything was online, interviews, public service announcements, PSAs, to encourage people, particularly women and minorities, to vote and contribute to the election. Now, they'll try to stay very vague in how they say contribute to the election. Sometimes they don't want to directly say the person's name, but we know if we see you associating yourself with a specific group of people, then we understand, we could put 2 and 2 together and understand who you're riding with. Number 4, John Legend. Now, first and foremost, I don't know how anybody would take the advice from a guy who's married to a woman who was on social media telling a person to commit suicide, who was struggling with mental issues. Now, I don't know what you guys think about that, but I don't think assisting somebody in making a decision like that online is somebody that has a good moral compass. And this is who John Legend is married to, and this is the people that the DNC is using to get your vote as Black people. Again, he's a musician. You still get it? Again, this is the entertainment lane. That's how they know that they can get Black votes, by going through the entertainment lane, because that's who they know us as, a bunch of entertainers. He became an activist using his musical talents to influence support for Joe Biden's campaign. He's another one that did virtual events during the COVID pandemic and was trying to discuss key issues and reasons for supporting Biden on various media platforms. Another guy that, took the bag and said, I got no problem with misleading people. Number 5, Samuel Jackson. Now, Samuel Jackson, we know him to be in what? Entertainment, films, another lane where they utilize entertainment to get a message to our people. He took part in Joe Biden's campaign back in 2020 for that 2020 election. He had hands in. He had boots on the ground with that. He engaged in voter outreach efforts. He shared videos on his platforms, messages to encourage voter registration, particularly amongst African American community. Now again, Samuel Jackson, you know why he could be used, right? You know how he could easily get across to a Black household as a person to like, because they'll sell you on the fact that he came from a HBCU, Morehouse, right? He went to Morehouse University, an all-Black school. So the general media will say, hey, like Samuel Jackson, because he's just like you. He went to a Black school. He understands Black things. All Samuel Jackson cares about is a check. to deliver a false message, because if they were real people, they would recognize that this country is not doing well underneath the administration that they helped put in office. And they would get up on the camera and be men and women about it and apologize to the people that they misled. Now, this is, again, a direct message that we cannot afford another 4 years on the plantation. And not even throwing, there's others. Charlemagne, you see, Larry Elder just opened him up a new one, directly on the Breakfast Club, called him out on why didn't he check Joe Biden when Joe Biden said, "You're not black if you don't vote for me." Charlemagne just stood there like, again, somebody that's on the plantation. This has to stop. And for those who actually have gotten it between 2020 and now, congratulations. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the club. But for those who are still struggling to understand why you're not getting anywhere in life, why things haven't been changing for you, I hope this is the year that you realize that your vote is coming with the mentality of a quid pro quo, right? We as black people need to have the mentality of quid pro quo. This for that. If you want this vote, then you need to give us that. It's that simple. The negotiation there is simple. You want this and we want that. And if you don't deliver on that, then we are no longer giving you this. It's an easy equation. Now, black folks, I know you guys can add 2 + 2 and that equals 4. The equation is that simple, and your decision matters in a great way this year. There's nothing wrong with holding your vote. If you don't like a candidate on the other side and you still have a tough time trying to understand whether you should go and give the other side of the aisle a shot with your vote, fine. But make sure that you're not putting your vote in a place that you know deep inside hasn't benefited you, your family, or your household. Now, I appreciate you guys for listening. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you like the content, give it a thumbs up. And we always appreciate you and your support. So with that said, we out. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.